Hey guys, welcome back. We know it's been a while. We have literally been back in the UK now for almost 5 weeks since returning from our epic trip around the Arctic Circle. Now, you may have seen by now, but we were keeping a tiny weeny secret from you guys whilst we were traveling up in Norway, as we found out that we are about to have a baby. So in this week's video, we are going to be answering all of your questions, because since we've made an announcement on social media, we have had so many questions about what does this mean for the travel duo? Are you staying in the van? What does the rest of 2024 look like? And I know most of you will also be wondering, how is Olive? Now, our journey back to the UK wasn't plain sailing. Olive started to have overheating problems in the back end of our trip, and we couldn't get to the bottom of it. Chris has been literally pulling her apart since being back. In fact, he's out there right now, and I'm gonna have to go and drag him in here just so that we can sit down and make this video for you guys. But let's go and speak to him and see what the update is.
Oh guys, update. It's been a while since we've actually spoke to the camera, so if we're a little bit rusty, do not blame us. But we have come back from the Arctic and Olive is still really struggling. I have no idea what it is. I've tried a lot of different things, and we are unfortunately leaning towards the head gasket being gone. But in a last ditch attempt, I'm actually going to chuck 2 dishwasher tablets into the coolant system, because all I think it is there's a blockage somewhere. So I think there's a blockage in the system. So hopefully these degreasing tablets can wipe it all clean, give her a brand new lease of life, and we can hit the road again. It's been a real pain in the ass. We can literally do like 2 miles in her now, and she overheats and chucks all her coolant out. I've asked so many different mechanics. I've asked loads of guys with LT35s. They're all coming up with some really good solutions and things to try, so I've been trying all them. But head gasket does seem to be the one that unfortunately it's leaning to. But I'm staying positive, and we're gonna have it cleaned out with the dishwasher tablets. So at the moment, I'm just going to see if I'm getting a good return. This is from the return pipe of the engine. So we are getting good flow there, which is great. Oh my God.
Here goes nothing.
We've got nothing to lose now, guys. I can just flush it out if it doesn't work, but... It smells so good. The van has never smelled better. Dishwasher tablets could be the way. So I've just put the lid on now, or the cap to the expansion tank. We're gonna have to see if that temperature gauge goes up at all, but we've just got to get a good flush going around the van, and hopefully it'll fix our girl Olive.
Are you excited to talk all about babies and
talk about what? Talk about what?
Talk about babies.
Have we told them, have we?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Guys, new chapter for us for sure. To say I'm excited is a freaking understatement. I am so ready for it. So we can't wait to share how it all happened with you guys. And actually, we need to touch base about the whole of Norway as well. So I'm sure we'll go into that. Let's get this flushed out, flush through, and I'll be with you with a cuppa in 20 minutes.
And this is the one that they've all been waiting to see.
Oh, everyone wants to see your proof based on...
He's not quite sure what's going on at the moment.
He's like, we're revving the engine, we're not going anywhere. What's going on? Whoa. Where's your ball? Find your ball. Where's your ball? Find your ball then. Right, give it to me. Ready, go. Guys, we are sat down, we are chilled. Even Fletcher's took a nice comfy seat. We've done what we can with the van today. Are you going to be quiet for this? Because we're going to talk to all your favourite people. So, are you going to tell them how it all went down?
Where do we start? Okay, so we've just got back from our epic 7-week trip around the Arctic Circle. Is that what it was? It was only 7 weeks.
It was meant to be 3 months.
It was meant to be a lot longer, wasn't it? But we didn't quite realise that we were pregnant even when we left for this trip to the Arctic Circle.
No.
Yeah.
Sam went skiing. We went skiing up in Sweden on the way up. You did some crazy stuff, really, considering we didn't know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And then, obviously, Sam was late, and it was like, do you know what? We might as well go and get a test. We might as well go and find out. So as soon as we got into Finland, we went to one of their big superstores, didn't we?
Chris was so excited to find out. I was a little bit in denial. I didn't even tell him I was late on my period to start with, because I knew he would be like, let's go and do a test, and I just wasn't ready for it. I thought there's no rush to know. So anytime we went to a supermarket, Chris was like, come on, let's buy one, and I'm like, no, we'll do one next week. And then in the end, we brought one.
So we have just made it to Finland, and this is not what I expected to be picking up in our first superstore in Finland. But you guys aren't going to see this until we know the result. But yeah, I just thought I'd put it on camera anyway. Morning of the test. Oh my god. Sam's got up super early needing the wee. So it was like, let's just do it. Let's get it done.
Do you want to look?
No, you can look first.
No, I think we should look at the same time.
Okay.
I'm not ready to look. I'm really sick now.
Ready?
No.
2, 3. That's definitely. That's like proper definite.
Yeah.
Like that's definitive.
Yeah.
That's pretty mad.
What the f—
Hey, welcome to Finland. What a place to find out that we're in Lapland.
What? Oh, what?
I think it's going to take me a minute for it to settle in, because I've manifested this quite hard, so I'm pretty...
You're such a good manifester, it's unreal.
I've manifested this
Don't
pretty
you
hard.
ever doubt your manifesting skills. Literally took you one time.
I know, I've manifested this, and I'm pretty...
Those of you that have been on this journey with us, you would have seen that we went to Santa's village, and that morning we had actually found out we were pregnant. So our minds were just all over the place. So I don't know how we vlogged that place.
So if you go back and watch that video, you'll probably find there's a lot actually where we're like not quite on cue. We're probably thinking about a lot more, aren't we?
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been a normal vlog, put it that way.
So team, seeing as this morning we found out that we are 5 weeks pregnant, which I find so weird to say out loud, we decided to buy something special to mark today, because we found out here in Santa's village in Finland where there's lots of reindeer, so we're taking this guy home for our future child.
That's mad when you say that.
This one just had to come home with us.
I'm literally here crying behind the camera. It's crazy.
But let's just start right at the beginning, because I know so many of you will be wondering, were we even trying? Was children even on our agenda? And did we plan to fall pregnant in the Arctic Circle?
No.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
You planned it.
Well, no, we had a conversation between us. We've got we got a few friends who said it might not happen straight away. Don't actually know if you're going to get pregnant very fast. You know what I mean? We're both in our 30s now, early 30s. I'm 31. You're 31 as well?
I'm now 31.
You're
yeah.
31 as well. So it's it's getting to that time. If you're going to have kids, you better start thinking about it now.
But it literally happened overnight for us, which is an absolute blessing.
Oh God,
I know, like, that is a gift, but it just took us by surprise because we didn't expect it to happen.
I thought I would have seen the end of the Arctic trip and then might have found out something like that, but yeah. So
it turned out we actually left the UK as a family of 4, including our first baby, and will always be our baby Fletcher. we left as a family of 4.
We did.
We kind of knew that we were going to have to cut our Arctic Circle trip short.
Yeah.
But we only thought it was only going to have to be like a week short, because I was quite naive and thought that the first time you see a doctor is at your 12-week scan. It wasn't until we spoke to the midwife and we found out that actually they like to see you at around about 9.5, 10 weeks to have bloods done. So then we were like, oh my God, we have literally just got into Norway, the country that we had been, you know, waiting for so long, and we've got about 2.5, 3 weeks to do it. And if we knew we were pregnant, we maybe would have rushed up Sweden and Finland a little bit more.
Well, we probably wouldn't have done Finland, didn't it? If we knew we were pregnant, we wouldn't have done Finland. We would have crossed straight over into Norway.
So we had some miles to cover.
Yeah.
Didn't we?
We did cover some miles. And then we weren't lying to you guys when we were saying Olive was playing up as well. We generally had to rush back because Olive was overheating, getting up the mountain roads just wasn't working. By the time we got to the top, chucking the coolant out, there was times we actually thought where Sam would have to fly home and I would have to like trudge in the van home slowly with Fletcher, just like taking it day by day. But it did work out that we didn't have to be back till our like 10.5, 11 weeks when the midwife pushed Sam's appointment back, so it gave us time to both get back, didn't it?
But I think Olive knew, and Olive was like, you guys need to go back to the UK now. You can't do this trip as well as you really wanted to with Sam being pregnant. And even a few of you had actually started to pick up on a few things where I didn't go in for any Arctic swims because I was poorly or on my period, I think I made out. So obviously guys, I didn't go in for a sea swim because I am 7 weeks pregnant. I googled it and they strongly advise you not to get in something with extreme cold temperatures. So I had the fun of keeping everyone's coats nice and warm, flying the drone, which I actually failed at because they had to do it all over again. So sorry. But yeah, that's why I didn't swim.
And how are you feeling at 7 weeks?
Feeling great.
Yeah? Yeah. Feeling good?
Feeling great, although my nipples were stinging so bad earlier. Never felt pain like it, but must be all part of it. I didn't go on that unbelievable hike. You
wouldn't have liked that hike anyway. I know you were pregnant, but genuinely you would have looked up, you would have got to the top of the steps and thought, babe, I'm turning around.
I wouldn't have done it.
You wouldn't have done it, no.
No way. So that was a blessing.
Yeah.
But a few of you had started to notice that, especially our last few vlogs, I wasn't around so much. Not because I was poorly or anything, because touch wood, my pregnancy has been absolutely dreamy. Like, I've been really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just weren't taking part in a few activities that I thought might be a bit risky, and you had actually started to notice. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it tiring talking about children?
No. Christ, it was tiring talking about them. Wait till they're here. Then I'll be proper tired.
Oh, I know. We've got so much on our mind, don't we, with Olive and baby. But we thought we would do a video because so many of you have jumped in our DMs ever since we made an announcement about what does life look like for us now, and does that change now we're having kids. So we've got some questions that you guys have put to us, and we'll go through it. But
let's do it.
As a little summary, babe, what does the future look like for the travel duo?
Future for the travel duo, to me, to us, from what we've discussed at the moment, we're due 22nd of October 2024. So I'm thinking we get a short-term, long-term Airbnb somewhere nice and local to be with family, surrounded by our close friends. So we'll do that from, I would say, early October, maybe even middle of September sort of time. Probably till about, I'm thinking like April, May sort of time. So get over the bad, harsh, wet, normally in the UK winter, and then come back into the van. So with the little one, bring the little one back into the van, and then head down to like Spain, Portugal. We have never been down there yet. If Olive's playing ball, either we do the head gasket or she is fixed.
She definitely needs some work before we go on long term.
Yeah, that's a totally different subject. We can go on to that in a minute, what she needs doing. But yeah, that's the plan that I see working for us so far. Like, if all plays out, that's the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan. And we're not going back to our house.
No.
We're so grateful that as full-time van lifers, we do own a property, and you know, we've got tenants and they're paying our mortgage off every single month. And if we really want the option to, we could easily go back to our house at any time that we want to. So we're just like, no, we're not ready to go back to the house. Like, we absolutely love adventures on the road, albeit they might not be such long, like massive trips in the future, because I know we won't want to spend so much time away from friends and family when we've got a little one, especially at the beginning. But we love life on the road. We love the simplicity of it. We love how much time we have together, the fact that we're going to be able to co-parent together, and it not be Chris going off to a 9-to-5 every single day. And I'm just so excited. Like, I honestly don't know why we would go back to a house. Like, I don't see what value that's going to add to us, especially in the first few years of our baby's life.
That's it, especially like if they take to boob and all that, we'll win it.
Fingers crossed. Right, let's have a little look at a few questions.
The questions.
A lot of them were the same. So the first one is, are you going to find out if it's a boy or girl?
Right, from the very beginning, I was like, no, we're not. No way are we finding out, first child and things like that. No way are we finding out. Your opinion?
Well, I must admit, every time one of my friends found out that they were having a baby and they found out the gender, I was secretly like, why would you find out? Like, this is the first biggest surprise of your life, and I do love surprises, don't I? So I was like, no, I wouldn't find out. But ever since we found out we were pregnant, I just need to know. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I would love to know. So I'm not pressuring Chris to find out, but I would really love to find out.
So, to be honest, I'm still not 100% sure if I want to or not. Like, part of me does, because I'm like, do you know what? It'll be nice to know, potentially reveal it to our like parents and our obviously baby's grandparents. But there's also part of me like on that day for them to say, you've got a baby boy or you've got a baby girl. Like, that would be so magical.
I know that would be so magical as well. The answer to that question right now is we don't know. We're going to find out the gender yet.
For any of you guys who have had kids, do let us know in the comments if you found out on any of your children, like first, second, third, however many. If you found out, let us know in the comments. It'll be awesome to see like what the percentage ratio sort of thing is.
Next question is, are you going to continue traveling with a baby? Which I think we've already answered is
100% yes.
Absolutely. Like, we love this lifestyle. There's nothing that we fear about doing with children. Like, I'm not gonna lie, we've had so many of our friends and people on Instagram being like, you can't live in a van with a baby. And it's like, I know they couldn't live in a van anyway. You know, they've said to us before, what, you're going to go and live in a van and, you know, be with each other 24/7, and we've smashed it, we thrived, we love it. So we don't expect other people to think what we're doing is an amazing idea.
Oh, absolutely no.
We know it's going to be tough, it's going to come across its challenges, but we're just ready for the adventure.
We're basically parents already, though. We have a dog who is so spoiled. So to me, I see this genuinely as close to a second baby, to a second child anyway. If we go out anywhere, he's got to come with us.
Yeah.
We can't just leave him in the van because we don't do that anyway. He's got to go and stay at my parents or Sam's parents if we're out for a night or something like that. So what is the difference?
Do you know what? We actually had quite an emotional conversation once, because Chris was way more like mentally prepared to be a dad before I was a mum, and we'd always said that we've been together for like 16 years now, and that if either of us had come to the point in our lives where we really wanted children, then we would, because we just love each other and we're so ready for this adventure. But I remember when Chris like started saying to me about having children, and I was like, oh my god, I'm freaking out a little bit, like our lives are going to change so much. And he was like, what are you scared about, Sam? And I was like, well, you know, we just won't be able to go to certain places, and like it's no longer going to be just me and you. Like, I love this man so much. Like, I think I was more worried about what it would do to our marriage. And he was like, Sam, we've got Fletcher, and Fletcher tests us at times.
Oh my god.
He has to come everywhere with us. Like, we have to think about every single thing we do because we've got a Fletcher. So
he's the biggest cock block going.
We're like, it's not going to be any different. I mean, obviously it's going to be different because I'm not saying a dog and baby.
It's actually going to be easier because we'll be able to take the baby into a restaurant, take the baby into a cafe when we're wherever we are. Like Norway, half the places we couldn't even take Fletcher, so we're going to go and do these things. But you can actually do these things with a baby.
But I remember actually getting really emotional on that conversation, but after he said that to me, it just hit me, and it was like, oh yeah, like what am I so scared about? Because the way we treat Fletcher is like a child, and we are already parents, and we already smash it together. I mean, he could be a bit better, but
he's an angel, really.
So, is there anything else? Do you have a first destination that you would love to show baby?
Well, baby's actually already seen France, Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark.
And also, I've just flown to Vegas with my mum and brother for my mum's 60th. So, baby's even been to Vegas and the Grand Canyon, like, been lots of different places,
absolutely.
But I don't think there's anywhere in particular I'm super...
When they get like a bit older, there'll be places I like will want to take them, like where we've been before, like Austria. It's gorgeous, like
everywhere.
I loved Austria so much, like in those lakes, take them swimming in the lakes and stuff like that. Like that's dreamy to me.
I mean, I don't know if any of you guys follow the Bucket List family, but that for me is absolute family goals. They literally just travel the world. They've got their children swimming with like whales, and they're like doing
the manta rays,
all these incredible experiences in the world. You know, they take them out of school and they do a lot of homeschooling, and they literally just travel the world. And yeah, that's for me is goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I couldn't agree more.
The whole world is the answer to that one. Everyone is basically saying van or house life because they're all really intrigued to know whether we're going back to the house, but we're not.
No. Sorry guys, sorry for
honestly,
you guys.
there must have been about 30 questions there just saying, are you staying in the van? I think that's what everybody wants to know is, going forward, what's happening? And like Chris said, we're going to find some temporary accommodation. Chris said till April, May, but I instantly was like, no, that's way too long. Like, I just know we'll get itchy feet. And as soon as we're in like a nice routine and the weather starts
But that's what we're relying on, you know what I mean? Like, I was going by this year, we have had, well, luckily we were away for a lot of it, but January, February, March, in half of April has been rubbish, you know?
I know, but I'm manifesting we're out before then.
All right, well,
also,
I hope so.
We're going to have to do a lot of modifications to Olive.
Not loads, I don't think.
We've got to make some space.
Well, yeah, it's a couple of bit of extra, like, storage, definitely. We're doing that for, obviously, baby's bits. I'm going to buy when we were up in, where were we coming back from? When we were up in Norway, something like that, someone actually put a roof box on, like, the back of their van, like, up against the back door, one of the thin, narrow ones. I thought that could be quite cool, just to, like, hold the pram and different things like that. I could obviously potentially get another one for the roof, another roof box. There's so many ways you can add space to the external side of this van for things that we're not using every day. Like, I imagine us, well, like, baby in the sling, like, in a bit of their clothes. There's not going to be loads. Hopefully, obviously, they take to breastfeeding quite easily, so you don't have to worry about sterilising the bottles and things like that. But really, if it's just nappies and clothes and baby grows and things like that, I really, you know what I mean? Like, we live so minimal. Baby can have as much space as it needs. You know what I mean? Like, I'll sacrifice another box of clothes for me. It wouldn't matter.
No, I know. But I want a swing put on the door here. We're going to have like a nice swinging cot here. Yeah,
we're going to have like a nice hanging sort of Moses basket sort of thing, probably up by the bed, near the bed sort of thing, just so baby's near with us, within like reach and distance.
And I know we've never had a baby before, and I know we won't know what we're doing, but I'm very, very excited for this next chapter.
Oh God, yeah. Well, I had like so many people reach out, like telling me all these bits of advice, but like a close mate said, like the one bit of advice I would take is don't listen to too much of the advice. You know what I mean? Just you will naturally know what to do when your baby starts crying, when you need to change the nappy and things like that. Like, it'll come to you naturally, and you'll find your own way of parenting, which I thought was really good, and I've taken that on really, really well. It'll be different.
I can't believe we're about to be parents.
Oh no.
Talking about parents, I was so gutted that we had to tell our loved ones that we were pregnant via FaceTime.
Yeah.
I was determined, when we found out we were pregnant, I was about 7 weeks,
Yeah.
wasn't I? And obviously weren't going to come home until like the 11-week mark. So I was like, do you know what? We got to try and keep this quiet for 4 weeks. We'll go back and we'll surprise them and be like, this is what we've been cooking the whole time. But you were so eager to tell them, weren't you?
Oh my God. It was different for me because my family, my parents, I'm the oldest son, I have 2 younger brothers, and my parents don't have any grandchildren. So to me, like, they've been waiting, obviously I'm 31 now, so they've waited like 31 years. And yeah, I was keen to tell them, I really was. Whereas your mum and dad have got your older brother has got 2 kids anyway, so they're already grandparents. Not that they weren't, oh my God, they were super shocked, it was awesome.
Oh, they loved it. And I think there was even moments, I even said to my parents, like, there was a time in my life where I thought I would never have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
And for me, the reason why I was so against telling them was, me and Chris have spoken multiple times in our lifetime together that we probably won't have kids.
Yeah.
We went through periods of our life where we actively said, like, we're not having them, like, we're really happy with life and we're not going to have children. But I used to think about that moment of telling Chris's parents, my parents and our loved ones, because I knew it would make them so happy.
Yeah, right.
I used to manifest and imagine all of these different ways that I'm finally telling them that we're actually going to have a baby, because I just knew it was going to make them so happy. So when we found out we were having them, I was like, no, I can't tell them over the phone. I've been like dreaming of this moment for a long time and just couldn't wait to see their reaction, because I just knew so many people would be so blown away that we were even having a baby.
But it was lovely, you know, at the same time it was really nice. Like that's the joy, that's the really good side of technology, obviously being able to do this, work on the road, but like having the capability of like calling our parents from middle of Norway, especially with their amazing phone signal, 20 times better than the UK.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, like being able to ring them, see them, FaceTime them, and just, it was still a lovely connection and a lovely way to tell them, I thought.
Yeah, it was really, really special. So I think the final thing to talk about really is, what does the rest of 2024 look like for us now that we are expecting? Because
God, we have a lot of scans and appointments and things like that. It's mad crazy.
You actually don't have that many scans. It blows me away that you just have 2, but I didn't realise how many like midwife appointments you have, especially the later in pregnancy you are. So we're actually very limited to where we can go. In fact, there is a window coming up where I've worked out on our appointments where we've got 5 weeks where we've got nothing. So we're going to try.
Come on, Olive, we get you fixed by then.
We're going to try and maybe go up to Scotland because we absolutely love Scotland. But the rest of this year, up until October, having baby is going to be local adventures. We're going to get Olive back on the road, and
that's the first job.
Yeah, we're just going to be doing life in the UK because we need to stay quite local, and we're still going to be moving around, otherwise we would have gone back to our house right now. We cannot just be stagnant in a van. We've tried that over the winter.
And we've said that to you last year when we were doing the Razorback.
Like, mad, wasn't it?
I know it was the summer last year, but we would have had enough, haven't we?
Yeah.
Once you can stay in one, obviously, don't get me wrong, we don't take for granted that we're able to park at the workshop, have the use of the toilet, the water and things like that, but we don't want to be waking up to the same view. And
no, and we look forward to so many adventures
where
we can take you along with us. So we hope you're excited about this journey of us preparing to be parents and continuing life on the road with all of these incredible things to come. As far as the Scandinavia trip goes, we are not done. Like, I am not over that trip. I feel like because we were excited to get back to obviously celebrate with people and tell even more of you that we were pregnant, we were quite excited about coming home. Yeah. But now we're home and everyone knows I am missing our adventures, and I feel like we still have so much to share. We're going to be making a video for you next week of all of the tips and tricks about Norway, everything we spent, which you are going to fall off your chairs because we almost did.
If Sam wasn't pregnant, we probably would have had to come home because we ran out of money anyway.
Yeah, it was
It was mad expensive.
Worth every penny, though.
Oh my god, yeah,
Worth
100%. It was amazing.
every penny.
I thought you were talking about going back up there then. And for a minute, I was going to say to them guys, like,
that's a long way to go.
I was generally, that's what I was thinking. Like, however amazing it is, like stunning. It is incredible, but God, that drive puts me off now thinking about it.
Yeah, no, it
generally
so
does
long.
like put me off to an extent. I'm like, oh, that was endless. That like we were doing like 12-hour day driving some days.
Some days. If it wasn't for Brexit and the whole 90-day Schengen rule, then you would love to spend at least half a year.
You could spend a year up there.
Yeah.
Easy. You could see from like winter to winter, see all the nice spring, the summer and everything. But yeah, like to go up for that, and to think we only went up for 7 weeks as well. Like
we smashed it in 7 weeks.
We would have done like 8 days of driving. Four and a bit days just to get to the bottom of Sweden, and then 4 and a bit back, and the rest up there. So we smashed out some driving up there.
And we've only scratched the surface when it comes to Norway.
Yeah.
Norway is still there. We still need to go back and finish what we started, because in the end with Olive and obviously us wanting to get back for me, it was a little bit, we were a little bit preoccupied, weren't we? So we definitely need to go back to the Arctic.
But what we did see up there, you'll find out next week, we'll talk about it, because some of the little towns, the amazing places, the activities we did up there, even the people we met, it was amazing. It was so good, and we cannot wait to share that with you guys a lot more.
So yeah, a bit of a different video this week, guys, of just celebrating the fact that we're becoming parents, telling you a little bit of a background story.
And you might have actually seen Olive get fixed. This could be Olive fixed in this video, so you might have actually found that out as well. Fingers crossed, toes crossed.
We're about to go take her for another test drive.
So yeah, we're going to see.
We just want to thank you so much for coming on all of these incredible adventures. We want to say bear with us as we navigate this next chapter of our lives, but the best is still yet to come.
And we couldn't do this without you guys, so we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in, following us on Instagram, Facebook, whatever you do. We do appreciate all of you guys.
We'll see you next time.
See ya!